Hey folks, welcome back. So you can see there's quite a stack of stuff on the table in front of us here. So recently I backed the City of Mist Local Legends Kickstarter, and one of the backing options was to get the all the local legends stuff and stretch goals and whatnot, and also to get the complete set of everything so far in print for the City of Mist game up to that point. So of course, being a very silly person, I got that option. So just yesterday, in fact, this huge box of stuff arrived at my place. So this is the complete, up-to-date releases for City of Mist that have happened so far. Local Legends will come out sometime later this year, and that'll come in a separate shipment. But I don't think they're charging separate shipment charges for the two. I'm not entirely sure about that. But anyway, so what we got here, we've got a set of dice. We have a character folio pack. We have a starter box. We have the Knights of Pain Town and Shadows and Showdowns expansion. We have the core pack of Player's Guide and MC Toolkit. Then we have the character and theme cards and the deck of legends. So what I think we'll do is we shall start at the beginning with the beginner's box or starter box. Now, all I know about this game really is that it's kind of a unique combination of, shall we say, the Powered by the Apocalypse system and its own kind of what they call tag-based role-playing system. So when you use powers, you can inflict tags on other people that can be either enhancing or debilitating, and that will have an effect, therefore, on their further rolls for different kinds of things. And so the powers are defined by the tags that you can give to other players or to enemies. Let's see what it says on the back of the box here, because I have no idea what's in this starter pack. Forgive the reflection of the ring light here since it's still wrapped. Learn to roleplay in a city of ordinary people and legendary powers. In City of Mist, myths and legends are born within modern-day individuals. Hard-boiled detectives and cunning mob lords hold the mythic powers of characters from the Sumerian sage of Gilgamesh, Greek mythology, German fairy tales, the Bible, Fijian folktale, and more. But the mysterious force of the mist makes everyone who isn't a legend forget their magic, leaving modern-day gods and monsters to terrorize the city from its shadows. Can your crew uncover the truth about who is really behind it all? City of Mist is a cinematic role-playing game of investigation, action, and drama set in a gritty urban fantasy world. This box is designed to introduce the game to your group with as little prep as possible, learning as you play. So we get a booklet for the players, a booklet for the MC, which is the GM in this system, 5 pre-generated character folios, 20 tracking cards, crew theme cards, 2 custom dice, 7 location maps on double-sided sheets, and 41 character tokens. So it's quite a lot of stuff, and explains the heft of the box here. So we'll take off the shiny outer wrapping and see what we get inside. Now, note, I'm not going to do my usual kind of deep dive into every book, because this would be like an 8-hour-long video, and nobody wants that, and my voice would die long before we ever finished. And I also need to find where's a good place to actually open this plastic. There we go. I think I found a weak point. Almost. And there we go. Okay. I feel there's going to be a lot of this as I try to unwrap these very nicely packed bits. You can see, I mean, the quality of production is great. Starter box itself is beautifully thick. Very nice component quality from the outside, anyway. The illustrations are really cool. One of the things I've heard about the game in general is that all the components are of this kind of high quality. So here we go. We've got a couple of custom dice. Now what's unique here is, so the Powered by the Apocalypse system, for those who don't know, is a kind of narrative-based role-playing system where typically you use 2d6, and you have you simply have an additive modifier, or could be a negative modifier if you have things going against you. And so it'll say something like, you'll have a move that will say something like inflict harm. And so you'll have a relevant stat, like a +1 to +3 kind of range. You roll 2d6. If you get a 6 or below, it's a miss. 7 to 9 is a hit, but with consequences. And a 10 plus is just a powerful hit. This system expands on that a little bit. The first thing you'll notice is that these are actually, they're still d6s, but they're double sixes. So they're d12s. that have the numbers 1 to 6 twice. And the reason for that is A, it looks cooler, and B, they're more fun to roll. I'm a big fan of the dodecahedron, personally. It's my favorite platonic solid. So I really like the idea of the double 6. That was a terrible roll, though. Yeah, real bad. And so you have 2 different colors of dice as well. So one is for your mythos, and one is for your logos. So the 6s are marked differently on each die. So you have this mask here on one and a lightning bolt on the other. And, your character basically consists of a real life person, which is your logos, and your mythos, which is your kind of the sort of legendary being or fictional being that you're hosting. That gives you your powers. And what the system does as well is it expands on the system from Powered by the Apocalypse by adding things that can happen on a 12 plus, which can happen due to combining, with powers that enhance your abilities beyond a certain point. And those add even more additional effects that allow you to change the outcome of a situation. And this game is very investigation based as well. So my understanding is that the starter box, so this is your crew card. So it sets you up as all-seeing eye investigations. And so you have some examples of tags here. So during a scene, if you use a tag, you can use like a dry erase marker and sort of burn off that tag for the scene. And then if you gain some XP, you can improve your crew and get, for example, pull it together where once per scene you recover a burnt tag. So you could wipe the mark off here and use it again. Then here we have a deck of tracking cards. So there's a lot of kind of accessories with this game that make it a little easier to track stuff. So I guess these are for, I think if you get a negative tag all the way up to 6, then you're kind of knocked out. Like if you get, set on fire and you get set on fire 1 through 6, then when you get to 6 inflictions of that tag, then you're in trouble. That's my understanding anyway. I'm sure I'm getting many things wrong, so please do correct me in the comments. It's almost impossible to open this thing. I really should have brought a knife or something of that nature, but here we are. There we go. Oh yeah. I assume these aren't even actually that exciting to look at, but it's an unboxing. Let's see what everything we get in here. So I don't know if there's any difference between these. I guess you can kind of... Now the idea is you fill in the tag that you need to track for your character. And I guess there's a type of tag can be, and then the value from 1 to 6. So they're all basically the same. But there's plenty of them to accommodate the full playing group, so that's helpful. Then we have, I guess these are the double-sided maps. We've got a few of these. So... I'm not sure what this is. Some sort of big stone circular area. Perhaps some kind of underground chapel or ruined cathedral or something weird like that. Here we have a building of some sort. Looks like some kind of bakery. There's donuts and drinks and various little bits and bobs. And then we have some office-like rooms with some desks and stuff. Yeah, interesting. So I guess there's going to be quite a lot of places to investigate during the built-in adventure here, because there's a whole bunch of maps. Here we have another one, which looks like a very fancy dining room. Got a number of different tables with fancy settings on there. On the flip side, we have an alleyway, perhaps, with the exterior of a couple of buildings, fairly dimly lit. And on the inside, we have, looks like a bar of some sort. Yeah, we've got a bar here, we've got some stools, pool table, a little booth in the corner, some places to sit and drink. Yeah, all the illustrations on the maps are really nice as well. And then we have our tokens. So these will be used to keep track of where all your people are in a scene. I think this is, yeah, they're quite thick, the tokens as well. Got some sharks and a tiger. That's interesting. That's a scary looking dude. Another scary looking dude. We've got, I guess, some generic NPC types. Some cops, maybe some gangsters and stuff. These guys up here look more fancy, so perhaps there are PCs. Yeah, interesting. Again, I have no idea what the basis of the investigation is or really anything that's going on here. So these are your character folios. You've got Baku. The people of the city are slumbering, sleeping even through their waking hours. I am here to hunt that which hunts, to terrify that which terrifies. I am the nightmare of those who would be the nightmares of others. Okay. Yeah. And so on the flip side, we have... characters in City of Mist are made out of several chunks, which are different types of cards. So here we have, he has one card that's an adaptation, one that's a divination, one that's a subversion, and one that's a routine. Each of those offers different sets of power tags and new power tag options that can appear when you make advancements, I think. And they also come with weaknesses. So here he can... Baku is a chimera, a magical being made out of leftover parts of other animals. He can change himself to counter any dark phantasmal entity. So that enables him to adapt to my praise abilities, sprout claws, horns, and husks, or create a nightmare-devouring maw. He can also rearrange organs, have an elephant hide, or ravage otherworldly beings, but it's harder to transform in direct sunlight, and so on and so forth. Each of the cards is structured in the same way. But basically, the purple ones are connected to your Mythos, which is your mythical character. And here you can say Mythos 3, Logos 1. So the more Mythos you have and the less Logos you have, the closer you are to your Mythos kind of taking over your character and you losing your humanity entirely. So he's kind of on the edge. If you have Mythos 2, Logos 2, you're a bit more closer to being a normal person. So in his normal life, when he's not prowling the city, he teaches MMA in small classes. He runs his dojo despite his money problems, but he's also afraid of what he'd become without human interaction. Oh, there you go. So that's Baku. Then we have Detective Enkidu. I don't have time to go on a wild rampage. I've got more burning issues to deal with, like how this neighborhood is going to hell and how my sergeant is all up in my grill for not doing my paperwork. Problem is, ordinary cops don't see the things I see. Okay. So we got lovely illustrations here for all these people. And then we have, you know what? In fact, I'm going to turn down the light a little bit. See if that reduces the reflectivity. So on the top of each folio as well, you have a basic summary of play. So as I mentioned, you kind of describe your action, and then that will allow you to choose from one of the main moves. You'll then choose sort of relevant tags that you've been tracking. So for each weakness tag, you can reduce your power by 1. For each power tag that applies to the roll, you get +1. And for each story tag, you can get +1 or -1 depending on what's happening. You can apply statuses as well. So if you have a helpful status, you can add that to the power. If you have an impeding status, like you're on fire, then you subtract from the status, and then you roll plus your total power after all those adjustments from the tags. And 6 or less is a miss, 7 to 9 is a hit with consequences, and 10 or more is a hit with great success. Then improvement. So when you mark 3 attention on a theme, reset to 0 and choose 1 improvement for that theme. So you can choose a new power tag, or you can unlock the theme improvement. So that's why you have here new power tag options. So you can unlock those once you fill up the attention. So when you've used that theme enough, then you get attention put to it, and you can fill in either a new power tag for yourself, or you can grab the theme improvement. Now this one is the flip side of the other person. It's more Logos than Mythos, so she's much into being a real life detective. She's got hard-boiled detective, so she's good with police work, evidence, driving with lights and sirens. She's got standard issue gear, including a pistol, armory, police badge, and she can add some stuff like squad cars and things. And then she's got her precinct, so she's got kind of a home base, a jurisdiction. She's got some local small-time crooks she can deal with. and she can become incorruptible, and she can also call for backup, which is helpful. But again, all of them come with weaknesses, so that really emphasizes the narrative aspect of the game. Every positive comes with a negative, in a sense. I'm not going to go into the details of the themes and stuff. It's better you discover that for yourselves. But at least you get a look at what each person looks like. We have job. Sure. See, I used to have everything once. Then I got hit so hard I thought I'd never get back on my feet. I've lost. Never mind. The point is that somehow I got up. Somehow I always get up, no matter what they do to me. The trick is don't let the pain tell you what to do. So do what you say. Think you can try that for me. Okay? So what's his deal? He's got Mythos 1. So he just cannot die. Like his biblical mythos, he's at the center of a bet between God and the devil that has ruined his life, but he keeps his body alive and his soul untarnished. Okay? So he can endure any punishment. He can know the devil's servants, but he's also a magnet for misfortune. Okay. And he's got a lot of logos, so he's not quite turned himself over to this biblical mythos yet. So he's got kind of devil may care, crash and burn attitude. He's a man on a mission. This community is my ticket to whoever killed my family. Okay. He also likes being a father figure. These kids need me. All right. But each of these again come with weakness tags. All right. Then we have Lily Chow. Okay. Interesting. They don't give a damn about me. They've been hiding the truth, a dark, horrible secret about who they are and what they've done, and that's why I'm never going back. Okay, so what's she all about? She is in the middle here with 2 mythos and 2 logos. She has a magical green giant, Hans. A ferocious magical giant that she's unleashed into the world. Ever since she freed him, Hans has been protecting Lily from whatever threat she comes across. A handy service because Hans is virtually indestructible. So he's got an indestructible energy body. He can encase Lily in protective energy. He has a strength of 1,000 men. Wow. Later you can get protection from magic, acts made of magical energy, or shelter a whole area. She's also the Sorcerer Supreme. She can conjure fantastical creatures and objects. She has knowledge of the arcane arts. She can transform the environment. Conjure an army of giants. Wow. Some of these powers are pretty intense. She has the logos tag or cards of an unusual big brother. Hans is all I have. Runaway punk. So she's never going back to her parents. Wow, these characters are all pretty cool. I mean, really different from each other. Really different power sets. Really different backgrounds. So it'd be interesting to see them play and how they kind of mesh together. Tlalog. Now this thing comes along, it's electricity, and I find myself flowing into places I shouldn't be and seeing and hearing things I'm not supposed to. Can't deny this power has its perks, but lately it's been heavy on my conscience. I didn't even know I had one. What goes down in this neighborhood is downright sinister. If I don't do something about it and people get hurt, it's on me. But this responsibility is the last thing I need right now, you know? Yeah, I get it, man. So we have another Mythos 2 Logos 2 guy here. So he's the god of rain and lightning. Okay, so he can call storms, manipulate thunderbolts, electrifying gaze, rain knives of sleet, immunity to weather effects, and wherever there's water, there I am. Okay, so you can travel between bodies of water, turn into water and flow through narrow spaces, merge with masses of water, instantly liquidate, or turn others into water. Wow, that's interesting. His logo sees a diamond in the rough and a wheeler and dealer. Okay. Cool, so that's all of our character folios. Then we have a player's manual. If I can actually get these out of here. So we have a player's guide and a Master of Ceremonies guide. We're just going to quickly flip through these to get an idea of what they look like. No real details here. So these will just be sort of collapsed down summaries of the main rules. The main rule books are, of course, much, much larger than these. So your characters are called Rifts. And they're people who have discovered that they are hosting one of these mythological beings or fictional beings alongside their normal life. So we have explanation of power tags, character growth, mythos versus logos, and then the crew card and how that works. Then the different kind of actions you can take, so the moves that you can use. Figuring out when tags are relevant. And then changing the game, which is a special move. So there's good explanations, like half to a full of a page for each of the moves, which is really nice. So you can hit with all you got, you can investigate, you can sneak around, you can take a risk. Then there's, this is how you use the tracking card. So when you can give a status or take a status, you track it on the card. So for example, trying to run while having the status quicken 2 increases the action's power by 2. Okay. Trying to run while having the action tied up 3 reduces the action's power by 3. So that's how the tags tie into your power usage. And then there's an example of playing through a conflict. Things you can do in downtime. So you can have a montage. You can give attention to one of your logo's themes. Tell everyone at the table how you do it, mark attention. You can work the case and gain 3 clues. You can explore your mythos and gain 1 clue. And mark attention. You can prepare for the next activity. You can recover from the last activity. You can also stop holding back. Okay. Use your powers in a new and never before seen way or scale. Tell the MC what you hope to achieve. Okay, you can, on a 7 to 9, mark fade, crack, and burn all the power tags on one theme. Wow, alright. On a 7 to 9, you are killed, destroyed, or transformed forever. For now, take a tier 6 status. You cannot face danger. On a 10 plus, replace one theme. Okay. So you can fully transform your character by going all out. That's interesting. Yeah, and as you advance as well, you can replace themes. You can go more logos or more mythos, or have game sort of character changing events become one of your themes. You have a glossary. Some info about the city and the different different areas. We've got a sample playthrough, which is of course very helpful. Oh, and it's long as well. That's useful. Nice. That'll help players understand. It's quite the setup for the game is really different from most RPGs. I mean, even other PBTA games. So we've got a summary of player moves. Got some copies of the tracking cards in case the physical ones aren't enough, I guess. And then a list of Kickstarter backers. And for the MC, I would say it's similar thickness. So, not too difficult, I think, to get started with this beginner box. But, of course, there'll be a hell of a lot more options in the other books, I presume. So if you've never played as MC before, how to structure a scene, MC actions. So if you the MC in a Powered by the Apocalypse game, they make moves, basically. So the players make moves to affect the narrative, and you can make moves in return depending on the situation. So you can make a soft move before and after each player move, and whenever you have the spotlight. And then you can make a hard move. So that's when a player scores a miss, or basically if they, so you can do things like giving a status. You can reduce or remove a status, which like a positive condition. You can burn a tag even if they haven't used it. You can complicate things story-wise. So hard moves really present challenges for the characters. You can make something horrible happen, force them to choose, or turn their move against them. That's interesting. An intrusion is a short interruption you can apply at any time. So when a player is taking an action, you can intrude to ask for more details, tell him which move to use, rule which of his tags that were invoked are relevant and which aren't, rule which statuses affect his actions and which don't, invoke his weakness tags. Okay. When a danger custom move is triggered, intrude to reveal its outcome. All right. So then they have a nice summary of all your MC actions you can take. So challenges. Your job as the MC is to present challenges to PCs and make their lives dramatic and the story interesting. Some challenges are too complex to be resolved with a single core move. If the PCs engage in an ongoing conflict with a challenge, be it verbal, physical, or even legal or mystical, the challenge is represented as a danger. Okay, so there are different kinds of danger moves. Overcoming dangers. Okay, so things are getting more complex here. Worry about that later. So then we have a summary of Shark Tank, which is the first case. And I'm really just going to flip through this because I don't want to spoil it for other newbies out there. And certainly I want to run this for my group nice diagram of who's related to whom. Then we've got some read aloud text here. When players ask about certain things. There's stuff about clues they can find. Then we have using the basic card moves, some examples. Okay, more useful text, stuff about locations, triggered scenes, some threats from enforcers, choosing hard moves to build up drama. So it's kind of scattered through with helpful tips for the first time MC, which is really cool. And then we get further and further into the mystery. Again, I'm just going to flip swiftly past this stuff. Yeah, and then we have summary of MC skills and some useful info about the pre-gen characters. And then we have some adversaries and some additional rules related to them, and then the aftermath. And then we have a summary of what the MC can do, the general principles of play, the intrusions you can do, soft moves, hard moves, how you should narrate, and an area for notes. And then we have the summary again here of the 5 pre-gens, which is very helpful. We need to try and make their lives more complicated. So, very cool. I think both books seem really well constructed to get you into the game. Got everything you need to get started. You've got a load of cool pre-gen characters, which are on really high quality, shiny, thick kind of cardboard. Really will stand up to punishment. Plus you've got all these lovely tokens to use on the beautiful maps as well. So clearly there's a heck of a lot in here, and it definitely represents good value. And given that, I mean, technically you'd want more dice for a table full of people. This one just comes with 2, but that's, theoretically enough to get going with. But I did buy, of course, the dice set. The dice set comes with 4 more sets of 2 dice of each type, as you can see here. So basically that would be enough for a table of 5 players to have 1 set each. One thing about these games, the PBTA style games, is the MC never rolls. The DM never rolls. It's the same as in like Numenera or the Cypher system. All rolls are player facing, so that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, I bought this set so I could have 5 full sets of dice in the event of doing a in-person game. So let's see. Next we'll take a look at the core set, which is going to be a massive expansion. You would not believe how heavy these are, seriously. Everything is so heavy. Alright, now we have the core set, which comes in this beautiful slipcase. So you can see. Son of Oak Studios, by the way, is the publisher. So this has the Player's Guide, MC Toolkit, and looks like a GM screen as well. Hopefully it'll be mildly easier to open than the other guys. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. I have to say, I'm pretty pleased with how the Kickstarter has been run. I got a good price. They had a really good price for the complete set of stuff. I mean, considering the high quality of all this. And then they said on, April 24th we'll start shipping stuff out. And I got mine really quickly after that. I didn't have any worries with customs, nothing like that. Paid the shipping. Everything arrived on time, so really happy. So let's see. Let's take a look at the GM screen, because I'm very curious what a GM screen for a game of this type actually looks like. And then we'll quickly flip through the books. So yeah, we have the MC screen here. My placemat is going all over the place. There we go. All right. We'll flip off the ring light for now to reduce the reflection until everything's unwrapped. Okay, how the heck do I open this thing without killing anything? They really don't mess around with the wrapping on this stuff, I can tell you that much. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Yeah. Again, I mean, I can already feel that the quality of the GM screen is really high. Really nice, thick, kind of hardcover quality cardboard. Beautiful illustrations, as per everything else so far. Really captures the kind of noir investigative theme of the whole thing. There's also, okay, this is just the kind of ad copy that's stuck to the back here. Just try and remove that without causing any undue trouble. Oh boy. Something very, very sticky is holding it. Oh, there we go. All right. So that's all gone. So we have a landscape-oriented screen here. We've got 3 sides. Lovely character artwork here. Then in the middle, we have somebody scary looming over the City of Mist itself. And the tagline of Ordinary People, Legendary Powers. And on the third side, we have another set of characters. So I guess they're kind of representing a battle for the soul of the city itself. As far as the GM-facing content, so on the first page here, we've got a summary of all the player moves, along with page references for more information, which is handy. And the page references have PG for a player's guide as well. And then MC intrusions, so different examples of those. For example, adding a story tag. When the player forgoes a move option, you know, what happens if you get a 7 to 9 on investigate or sneak around or take a risk and you need a complication. There's some examples here, which is great. You can foreshadow. Oh, this is soft move summaries here. So you can complicate things by foreshadowing, introducing new threats to the scene, advancing existing threats, hit them after a fair warning, activate their weakness tags as flaws, or trigger a danger custom move. You can have hard move summaries, denying something they want, complicating things, making horrible things happen, etc., etc. Then we have how to work with statuses and some examples. Ouch 1, stinging pain 2, broken arm 3, gunfire, grazed, flesh wound, gunshot wound, bleeding out, dying, dead, exhaustion. Okay, so there's a progression of these different dimensions here. Scattered, dazed, confused, bewildered to psychotic. The mist, you can get vague details, memory lapse, memory loss, amnesia, and oblivious. Okay. So then it talks about tracking, duration, recovery, and then we have narration tips. So emphasizing the atmosphere, talking about lighting, weather, ambient noise, odor, and some example words to use even for cinematic stuff. Weather description, etc. Create an atmosphere of mystery, make our characters real and human, keep the mystery a mystery, ask provoking questions, stay consistent in your description, and make the city feel alive. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kind of examples here. On a typical GM screen for a crunchy system that's less narrative focused, you would see, a focus on, like, here's tables of rules and costs and things that you must remember. But here it's more about, what do you do when you need to make a GM intrusion or something like that. All right, so now we'll start with the player's guide. Oh. The books really are beautiful, I have to say. So this is everything you need as a player. Introduction to the setting, the tools to create your own characters and evolve them, and the rules of the game. Printed in 2022. And we have a lovely cover here, which is actually part of the GM screen as well, so that's cool. Sort of unity of design, always nice to see. So we'll just quickly flip through, get a few pages of each chapter in. So what do we got here? Introduction from the creator. Okay, so chapter 1 is the basics. That's just kind of the intro. Then we have chapter 1, the lowdown. So what it means to be a rift, what goes on in the city in the City of Mist. Who are you? So this is character creation stuff. Then working the case, so how to play the game, which is, basically dealing with investigation most of the time. How to develop your character, and then we get into useful stuff like player sheets, player moves, tracking cards, theme cards, and a sample playthrough, and then a list of backers. So a little over 300 pages, the book. Lovely artwork here to set the scene. Clearly, comic book aesthetic running throughout. Really, really high quality artwork. And the layout, the use of color, everything's really vibrant. I love this kind of neon vibe that's going throughout. It's really clear and easy to read. Nice 2-column layout. Little call-out boxes with some additional kinds of details on aspects of the world and so on. Fairy godmothers in drag and devils in suits. Okay. Cases and crews. Working with the crew. Cultural and ethnic references. Alright, then we got some more comic book action here. So now we get into character creation stuff. So I think this is a game where you'd really want a session 0 to kind of work out, what kind of crew you want to have. Maybe even create the details of your city together, what kind of the districts do what, and who controls different areas, and set up a sort of narrative playground basically. And that would seem to be best to do all at once rather than showing up with your own character, not knowing what the others are bringing to the table. So there's an exposition session. I guess that's your session 0. So coming up with your series concept, character creation, crew creation, and then a short and casual session to tie everything together and complete missing details. So basically a day in the life for your characters. What are they doing? What are they doing together? What kind of things might they be working on at the moment? Then we have character creation. So you create a concept, choose your theme, choose theme details, mysteries and identities. And then we break each of those concepts down into details. So different kinds of theme ideas, how you can add details to the city, using character and theme cards. Talking about the logos and mythos, choosing your themes, and it's a major aspect of your character, and that you want the story to revolve around. So you really want to be careful in choosing your theme types. So character tropes, pre-made builds. Okay, so there's quite a few helpful examples here. So if you want to be a ghost, or if you want to be a fertility god, or a god of the underworld, or a good fairy or spirit, then these are the kind of themes you might want to take with you. And logos, character tropes, local politician, drab academic, that's me. Classic detective, very helpful. Then you have theme books, questionnaires that help you put together the details of each of your character's themes, including power tags, weakness tags, mystery or identity, and a title. Okay. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on here. So there's a Mystius theme book, Mythos theme book for Bastion. So this is somebody who can conjure an armor or shield. You have invulnerability, magical protection, immunity to various kinds of harm, unbreakable body, will, or soul, being untouchable by the law. Okay. So then each of these theme books gives you direction on how to go with your power tags and stuff to achieve that kind of effect. So that's pretty cool. They give you a lot of guidance as a player on how to build the type of character you want to build, which is great. Not always the easiest thing to do in a narrative-focused game to get that kind of guidance, but it's clear they've put thought into it. There's absolutely a ton of detail in here and examples. Then we have defining relationships, crew relationships, your missions, crew relationships with extra tags, logos theme book for personality. So these are theme books for your average person persona, I guess, rather than your mythos theme books, which are where your powers lie. So your routine. So it looks like we've got a housewife kind of vibe going on there. What else we got? Training, all kinds of stuff. Some examples of uses of various theme cards. Then working on your crew, some quick start crew themes as well, which you can use. It's very handy. Building up your crew relationships. How to play through scenes. Got some more kind of flavor text in the form of comics here. And how to play the game. So here we're going to get into the conversation between MC and characters that is so characteristic of the Powered by the Apocalypse system, where you're kind of going back and forth exchanging moves, and the narrative evolves in that conversation. So the mystery that you're delving into will have set components, but the way you get there could be very different depending on how that exchange of moves and the conversation in play goes between the two sides of the table. Diceless moves. Okay. Then we're going to talk about the core moves. A 12 or more is treated as a result of 10 or more, but when a move is dynamite, the 12 or more outcome category becomes available, and a result of 12 or more activates it. So that represents an outstanding success with special benefits as explained in each move. Okay, so not every move has a 12 plus, but some of them do if they're tagged as dynamite. So that could be things like a large scale effect, a permanent effect, or a mist hidden effect. Cool. All right. So again, loads of details and examples about the player moves, what you might do if you get a dynamite result, what they do with your tags, how to use them in play. I mean, I think this is, you'd really want to read like a lot of this before you start playing the game because there's a lot going on here. It's not, I think it's pretty crunchy as far as a narrative-based game goes, and the fact that your characters are built out of multiple kind of combined elements that can change at different times. And you kind of advance sideways where, your powers might stay mostly the same, but your logos change significantly due to a kind of traumatic event or something. So there's kind of straightforward improvement where your powers get better, and then there's sideways improvement where aspects of your character change, but they might not necessarily be better or worse, they're just different. Then there's what happens if your mythos takes over. You become an avatar, and your logos persona is kind of gone. And then we get into some extra themes. Okay. Ally theme improvements, and then we have so your lists of player moves on either side here. Things you might do during downtime, what happens when you stop holding back, etc. Then you have your theme cards that you can print out, I guess, but I bought the real ones. And then a lovely sample playthrough again. Again, I think having these long sample playthroughs is really great. Okay. Oh boy. Sorry again, this is going to be a long video. But actually, I'm not that sorry. I've been looking forward to getting this. And I'll try to speed it up a little bit, but there really is a ton of stuff here. I think I'll spend the most time on this core set because, and that starter box, because this is where you kind of learn a bit about how the game works. The other set is kind of an expansion with new areas and characters and cases and stuff, and that will be kind of less relevant to our level of knowledge here. So this is the Master of Ceremonies toolkit, the MC's guide, effectively. So we'll look at the table of contents here. We've got some intro text on the Master of Ceremonies and the role of the MC. Then the cinematography of the city, including what the lead characters don't know yet. That's interesting. We got behind the scenes, so how to create and run cases, about using dangers and avatars. We've got some profiles for avatars, and then some MC sheets, including tracking sheets, series resource sheets, and a sample case as well, and then some maps of the city. So it's a little bit thinner than the player's book, which is kind of interesting. I guess because you don't have all this character creation malarkey, that's probably the main difference. They really went deep on that in the player's guide. So we've got some really beautiful illustrations and info about the various parts of town. Interesting, some Chinese food there. The blue-collar residential area. Some places of interest throughout. And the old quarter. Some important locals. Industrial zones. They give you loads of ingredients that you kind of put together to form your own cases. We've got a washed-up corpse here on the pier. That's always interesting start to an investigation. We've got the crime-ridden slums. We've got gated communities. We've got bloody handprints on this page. Then we have what the lead characters don't know yet. So the mythoid, their avatars, and their operations are kind of mysterious. The mist of the city and the people who the mist kind of keeps the city sort of closed off from the rest of the world as well, as I understand it. So the agents of the mist are called the gatekeepers, and it seems nobody really knows much about them. But the MC gets a little bit of knowledge about that. Some more scene-setting comics. Then we got behind-the-scenes stuff. So this is about running sessions, writing cases. So then we have the exposition session. So this will be, I guess, the introduction to your case that you put together, and then details of prep and what you need to put a session together. Session structure, considering the whole series as a whole. Thinking cinematically. So thinking in terms of scenes rather than, in D&D or something, your characters kind of continuously move through a dungeon throughout a session. It's all one big continuous thing until there's a resting point. But in games like this, you have a scene, an encounter. There'll be a break as you move on to a new location or a new sort of action point, and that'll be the break between scenes. Then it talks about the hard and soft MC moves, when and how to use them. Again, tips on narrating the City of Mist. So it's inspired by the comic book neo-noir genre. So adjusting the challenge level. Average of the crew members' highest negative status. Okay. So that kind of sets the challenge level overall of the scene. How to put a case together. That's interesting. So you want the players to feel like they're kind of seeing the tip of the iceberg and gradually digging deeper. So you develop a backstory, put some details together, some examples of backstories. Again, loads of great tips in here. Getting some story hooks in there, getting some breadcrumbs for the players to follow, adding dangers, and then wrapping up the end of an investigation. Then we have setting up story arcs, bigger icebergs. So I guess we're into campaign level play now. And then we have dangers and avatars that your characters might face. So rules for dangers, helpful. And danger profiles. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here I don't know what it means, so we're just gonna skip past that. Danger moves, we know a little bit about those. There's hard and soft danger moves. Collectives. Okay, so you can have groups of non-player characters that are acting together as a single unit. All right, so kind of minions, basically. You can add spectrums and moves on the fly. I don't know what a spectrum is still. Creating dangers, and then, custom moves, okay. So you can create custom moves for your NPCs and your dangers. There's some mundane dangers, so city official. They have certain characteristics. They can ask for more documents, call security, including beat cops or security guards. They can threaten to call security if not left alone, and they can end conversations abruptly. All right. Now we have more serious dangers like mobsters, movers and shakers, radical activists. That's cool. Reporters, violent drunks, criminals, cat burglars, crime lords, con artists, delinquents, Heist team. Interesting. Hitman. Ooh, 3 stars. Smugglers. Law enforcement and security. Security systems, police squads, SWAT teams. Then we have locational hazards like house fires, time bombs, citywide epidemic. Ooh. Creatures of darkness, ghost or spirit, mind controllers, beasts, necromancers, yikes, sorcerers and witches. Now we get into rifts. So we've got Rachel Delaney, aka Rapunzel. Got Jacqueline Brown, Jack and the Beanstalk. We've got this guy who's also Baron Samedi. He seems very dangerous at 5 stars. We've got the Magic Sword, the Gargoyle. So these are more, as you can see, fleshed out because these are kind of proper Rifts characters. Then we got the Gatekeeper Agents. So these are the guys who don't let you out of the city, I suppose. And then Avatars. So I think these are fully manifested examples of mythical creatures or gods or whatever. Okay, Anatoly. He's got custom moves. He's got dangers and his own enforcers. So these are kind of the big bad boys. All right. So they have entire organizations beneath them. So we've got Barton, the spear, the collective symbol of all fabled military leaders. Interesting. So he's got a whole operation here laid out. Leading up to him is the Avatar. And then key locations, his history, and then the dangers he has. So spearheads. They use the SWAT team profile. We have burners, so they're kind of SWAT team level threats. Then we have Pavel Zima. Okay. So that seems to be a proper Rift character. Now we have Isabella Aguilar, Lady of Feathers and Flowers, Aztec Goddess of Beauty. Okay. So she's got an MO. She has an organization. I mean, this is really cool. There's loads of story seeds connected to each of these major characters. They come with their own sets of interesting dangers that apply different tags, have different powers. Got Kwaku, who's a Nancy Spider, spirit of all stories. It shows you their operation, how it's all linked together, so you can use that as a basis of the characters forming an investigation centered around their particular avatar and maybe one of their machinations. So he's got tar babies, night crawlers, Adanko Gyasi, spider souls. That sounds unpleasant. Then we got the appendices. So dangers by danger rating. That's handy to have. Dangers in alphabetical order. We got a list of the mythoi in the book. And then we have the backer list, which is a heck of a lot of people, seems like. Then we got the sample adventure here, which I'll just quickly flip past again for spoiler reasons. So again, very, very cool. Extremely high quality book. We got some beautiful maps there as well. Again, won't show those for spoiler reasons. So you get an awful lot here with your core set. You can easily do a hell of a lot of gaming with this. I think the MC set book in particular impresses me because having those many detailed profiles of avatars with their organizations, motives, story seeds, all that kind of stuff, I mean, that really gets you set up ideally for, setting up interesting conspiracies for your crew to investigate, which I think is just great, and especially for first-time DMs or MCs in this case. So next we'll look at City of Mist expansion pack here, which is... I thought I had a name for this overall thing, but anyway, so it consists of Knights of Paintown and Shadows and Showdowns. So I think one of these is basically a campaign-length case, and the other is a list of kind of main characters and villains, avatars, new organizations and stuff. Local Legends is similar in that it's going to flesh out the City of Mist itself with a lot of details about each district, new characters inhabiting those districts, and basically lots more stuff to use as a basis for your City of Mist investigations. So really looking forward to that as well. All right, so these again, I mean, we really need to understand what the heck is going on with the rest of the game to make sense of this. So I won't spend too much time on this right now. We'll get back to it later on when I've got more experience of the system. So here we have a crime board map. So a large foldable map, 42 pinnable clues, 55 general pins, 25 locations, 15 crime scenes, 15 suspects. Confidential City of Mist envelope to hold all clues and pins. Wow, okay. So I'm a little bit scared to open that because I don't want to lose all those bits. So we'll just admire how it's supposed to look like. So I guess the idea is that your player characters will pin clues and NPC cards and stuff to the map as you go along and start to unwrap the mystery outlined in the campaign, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't want to screw it up, so we'll leave it how it is for now. So Nights in Pain Town. This is a story arc of crime, magic, and lost souls. And then we have Shadows and Showdowns, where it says, delve into the mist and uncover the secrets of the city. So maybe we'll start with that one first, because that will be kind of more city details and stuff, and might make a little bit more sense at this early stage. So what do we got? Some credits. Table of contents. Okay, we have new rules for theme kits, new theme books, new character creation tools, new character development options. That's always good. Overlooked attractions, so some more stuff to look at in the city. Don't believe the truth, so I guess some more info about the underworld of the City of Mist. Some new avatar profiles, including Ganesha. That's awesome. Suits unveiled, so life of an agent playing gatekeeper characters. The Gatekeeper organization, the Gatekeepers as adversaries, and the secrets of the Mist itself. Wow. So a lot of cool stuff in here. Probably, again, I don't want to spoil too much of this because it looks like there's quite a lot of interesting information revealed about the city in this book. But we'll look a bit more at the new theme books and stuff. So here's somebody who can conjure things, summon them from someone's dreams, constructing them from the environment, open a portal to another realm, different ways to summon things. Destiny, so you might have a prophecy or a curse or an unavoidable duty, a deal you made with a devil, fate written in the stars, or a family legacy, all kinds of stuff. Then we have Enclave. You have a door that leads to a legendary palace. That's a cute dog, by the way. I like that. A mythical building disguised as the mundane, a street that hides a magical kingdom, a secret dimension into which you can transport yourself and others. Oh, so you're kind of creating a mystical bat cave for your crew. That's pretty cool. Potentially very useful. Oh, and you have a familiar. A ghost dog that can walk through walls. A magical riding beast. A house cat who is also a guardian lioness spirit. A songbird whose song revitalizes all who hear it. A real-life dragon. Or a swarm of bats that turn into Dracula. Wow, cool. There's so many options that they give you. It's really incredible. I think you can come up with an absolutely enormous variety of characters in this game, even just in the core book. And now we've got even more here. So these now, we've got logos, themes. So what is I've kind of skipped right past this here. Struggle. So a life circumstance your character experiencing as a hardship. So mental illness, loneliness, medical condition, debt, etc. Turf. So there's a street, neighborhood, or district you control. You have a jurisdiction, an online forum you manage, or some kind of uninhabited city area that you try to cultivate. That's interesting. Okay, come on. These pages are being a little stuck together here. Yep, then we get into new character creation tools. Concept, 3 mythic features. Okay. All right, so and then they break down an example of some of the hot new tips for character creation. Baby New Year is an example. I think he comes in the character folio pack, actually. Rapid character creation, so you can choose a legendary archetype, choose a noir trope, then choose your tags and motivations, and then customize. So then it gives you a list of legendary archetypes, theme kits, a whole bunch of those, and then logos theme kits for your noir tropes. So yeah, you can build a character a heck of a lot more quickly with these, that's for sure. And then there's new options for improvements. You can gain awareness and more use of the mist, I guess. You can gain badassery. Once per session, you can trade a mist for a 7 to 9. That's useful. Once per session, you can trade a 7 to 9 or 10 plus for a 12 plus. Cool. You can postpone your doom or maybe avoid it altogether. Wow. You can gain some character growth. So level up your game, gain 7 improvements across all your themes. You get cinematic moves, conflict. You can improve your crew. If you're a gatekeeper agent, you can get some improvements there. Or improve your investigation interaction skills. Improve your legendary powers. Improve your personal life. Theme manipulation. Extra theme arsenal. Wow. And then you have relics. Okay. Baseball cap of obfuscation. Makes the wearer invisible. Okay. So here we have some powerful magical objects. Glow stick of the revolution. You can rally the downtrodden. Okay. Headache-inducing sweatband. Impenetrable lion pelt shearling jacket. The lover's twin ankle bracelets. There's a lot of relics in here. Magic skateboard. Oh, flying skateboard. That's amazing. That's what I want. Weakness, no grip, susceptible to gust of wind. Show off. Yeah, that sounds about right. Magnetic machete. Never-ending lunchbox. That's handy. Paradox net. Ensnare within a cosmic puzzle. Okay. Pepper spray of sleep and nightmares. Reality check secret decoder ring. So that lets you dispel illusions. Scarlet medal of honor. Screwdriver of shadows. Imposes sensory blackout. Tranquilizer gun to tame supernatural animals. Thunderbolt sledgehammer. Crushing foes. So that's kind of like Mjolnir. In fact, it is Mjolnir. And you can also get familiars. Cockroach of redemption. Reptile slaying mongoose. Freezing shoulder parrot. Ferocious alley cat. Dolphin dancer. World bearing ant swarm. Ka Mowgli snake mentor of the Jungle Book. Wow. Overlooked attractions. So here we have some city encounters. Again, I won't spend too much time on these to avoid spoilery stuff, but yeah, we got some new areas to look at, the projects, some encounters in there, contacts, useful people to know, useful information to know, Helen's Prophecies, okay, Levinson Bakery, the Mergen Book Bakers, and a 5-star Danger is there, so watch out for that. Sacred Land of Tiki Bar, various meeting places. Yeah, I mean, there's just tons of new places to look at and people to meet. And I presume a lot of these will come up in the campaign in the subsequent book, but we shall see in a moment. Yeah, security, Museum of World Cultures, some shopping destinations, more adversaries and dangers throughout. Potential contacts, gangs, transportation options, troll booths. Okay. Parks, workshops, Monument Tower. Okay, then we've got, Mr. Burns. Okay, not like The Simpsons, I presume. So the council in your game, the members as threats. Council as a backdrop. You can play as the council. So they really give you the option to be to play so many different roles as well. Oh, here we've got Chairman Chow, Tanha, Buddhist concept of craving. That's cool. So here we have the first of our new paradoxes. Not paradoxes. Avatars. So he's got a big organization here with various members of the crew. Key locations, and then he's got custom moves. He's got a relic, the Iron Fan of Desire. He's got a branded store. He's got a Preta, which is Hungry Ghosts. Watch out for those guys. We've got Poketeka. Okay, seem fairly dangerous. Then we've got Flaming Hungry Ghosts. That's even worse than a regular one. And we've got Fury Hong, a pyromaniac, sociopath gangster, and biker who enjoys puppeteering his victims by controlling and amplifying their deepest desires. Okay. Then we've got District Attorney Barbara King, who is also Shango, the Orisha of Power and Dominion. So again, she's got her conspiracy all set up. Then she's got extra themes, a base of operations, her own dangers, and then all the way up to her second in command here. And then we have Ganesha, Hindu elephant-headed god, the remover of obstacles. So she's got her network, an operation, history, story seeds, custom moves. She has an ally, Shepherd, Hoyt, and Diva. Some dangers in terms of Ganesha's helpers, little city mice, preservers of life, and then Guan Tingyu, who's a 5-star danger. Okay, look out for that. Dr. Talbot Leyland, who was also Prometheus, the Greek titan who gave fire to mankind. But his operation, his custom moves, backgrounds, key locations, etc. He's got a spark device as a relic. He has headhunters. He's got a clone, bodyguard. Okay. And he's got guard dogs under the abominations category. So there's kind of rift-based tech. Frank, which is a manifestation of Frankenstein's monster. Okay. We got Black Ops teams. And then we have Rosaline, who is also Romeo and Juliet, Tale of Tragic Love. Wow. She's got her organization. And then we've got, she's got a Bureau Tarot deck as a relic. She can tell someone's fortune, reveal intimate feelings, subtle fate manipulations. She's got a Homewrecker Mythos power set, creating drama. There you go. She got potion makers, white peonies, and Troy Steele. From the Helen of Troy, from the Iliad. Then we have Monty Wolf, the boy who cried wolf. His organization. And what's he got? He has a fake wolfskin garment. He's got a sponsored journalist, Oscar Diggs, one of the most powerful reality benders in the city. Okay. And Pulgasari looks like what would have happened if Godzilla and King Kong had a baby. Okay. That sounds terrible. You can do an all-out media attack by controlling the narrative. Okay. He's got Lonnie Carr and some shepherds. Now we've got... now we get into the gatekeepers and the mist. Okay. If you're a player playing a Rift or Sleeper character, this chapter contains campaign information that may take away from your enjoyment. Okay. The remaining sections contain campaign information intended for the MC alone. So we will flip quickly through this stuff just to give you a taster. So we've got Gatekeeper abilities powered by the mist, ambient mist effects, some new relics and cool stuff, different kind of agent careers you can have, some example tags, mist theme books. Wow, that's cool. Okay, they really don't go any half measures with these expansions. You can also use the gatekeepers as adversaries. Their abilities in play. Some example threats and dangers of different levels. But since it specifically said these are for GM or for MCs, I don't want to spoil anything here. The appendices. We're back into safe territory. Mythoi shown in the book. Yeah. And the list of backers. Wow. Very impressive. A ton of new stuff for players and MCs alike. And the ability to play as gatekeepers sounds really interesting. I mean, to be part of the mist itself. I didn't know that was possible in this game. I thought that was sort of a background effect that was just It was just there, like you couldn't be a part of it. Now we have Knights of Paintown. I absolutely love the cover for this. It looks really, really stunning. I love the neon effect on the red here, and how it reflects on the characters. It's beautiful. Again, it's a campaign, so we're going to flip through it real quick. So we've got a case structure, different modes of play. You can do one-shots, you can do case by case, you can do sandbox city. Then there's the story arc. We'll skip past all that. How to run it. Then we've got the individual cases themselves. Again, skippity, skippity, skip. There's some cool stuff you can see passing by, like giant pet spiders, blizzards, some blueprints for stuff, more hooks, info about Hans, okay, special shipments, the gingerbread conspiracy, wow, attack of the cultists. We've got some East Asian flavor going on here. Candles in the dark. Wow, yeah, there's a lot of play depth in here for sure. And again, lots of useful info for the MC. Tips on how to run every single character, descriptions and answers to questions. Handouts and stuff. Useful tags. I mean, this is just packed to the brim with stuff here. This is a proper full-on campaign. Keep skippity skip. Streets of Wild Knock. Scent of Hunger. The Monster's Lair. Skirmishes at the Border. Okay, and now we'll flip cleanly past the end so that you won't see any of the finale aftermath stuff. Then there's a handy list of dangers in the book, which is useful for the MC. Wow, I'm really impressed. Both these books are massive, about 300 pages plus each. Both of them have a ton of content. The Knights in Paintown campaign looks amazing, by the way. And I love the idea of having this crime board where you kind of, your characters will pin all the information they've discovered thus far. I will open that when we look at this set in more detail sometime down the line, which I do intend to do, of course. But yeah, just for now, I don't want to mess up anything that's carefully concealed in that nice package. So we've done all the main bits here. Now what we've got left is just the character folio pack and a couple packs of cards. So I think these were perhaps like Kickstarter bonuses, these character folios. So, there are the 5 that are in the starter set and stuff. And then we have a bunch more. So there's 14 illustrated pre-gen characters, each 11 by 17. So we've got Excalibur. Again, fantastic illustrations. There's 14 of these, so I won't go too much into the depth here. She's got 1 Mythos card and 3 logos. So her main mystery deal is she's got an ultimate weapon, which can transform into any weapon, inconspicuous in bracelet form, and is indestructible. It can be made more destructive, bigger explosion, and transform into armor. But much of her life is about being a rich old dame, having a wealthy and dysfunctional family, and trying to be an activist for social change, which is a good thing because she's got an indestructible, ultimately transformable weapon. Then we've got Flicker. Again, lovely image. Okay. And she has 2 Mythos cards and 2 Logos cards. So she can warp space and time. She can activate super speed, act just before something happens, and she can catch things well. And she can grow into teleportation, putting people into time loops, and tearing space-time apart. That seems problematic. She also has expanded senses, so she can have flashes of what was happening before, flashes of other parts of the cities, and perfect spatial sense. She can get flashes of tomorrow, flashes of beyond, and more than just flashes. Interesting. And then her personality, she is a hipster, and she's got training in mad hacker skills. So she can hack computers, network communications, data mining, She's got hacker connections, government database access, and penetrative software. Cool. I mean, all these characters, they're really filled with fully fleshed out concepts. I really like that. We got postmortem here. Looks like an assassin of some kind. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to do to you what they did to me. I'm going to take your life. Okay, yeah. Sounds about right. 2 mythos and 2 logos. So she is a walking dead. She's a dead woman walking. More accurately, she's a body supercharged with Ion 9, an energy that somehow allows her to think, walk, and act. She can't die because she's already dead. She doesn't breathe, needs no food or drink. Later, she can not feel pain, be immune to toxins and disease. But the weakness is that she looks like a corpse. Okay. She also has Helix Labs gadgets, so an Ion 9 blast sniper rifle, a force field generator, a tracking device. She can later gain paralyzing shots, structural scanners, and cloaking devices. Ooh, very interesting. So her training is assassin, as predicted. So she's got martial arts, stealth, and marksmanship. She can later gain deadly surprise, eye on the door, and improvised weapons. That seems really useful. And she's an angel of vengeance, so she's into tracking, interrogation, and alerting people. She can learn battlefield tactics, gain an informer, and find a safe house. Very cool. Certainly be an interesting bunch to mix some of these characters together. Got Kitsune, the trickster fox spirit. There we go. Interesting. So Kitsune, I think, is mostly mythos, actually. So not much left tying Kitsune to the real world. Is a message of good fortune. So you can bless people with good fortune, take away good fortune, or heal with a touch. You can make gold. The more the merrier. Not sure what that means. You can sense lucky opportunities. Powers don't work on gods or spirits. Okay. Ninja after a fashion is the other one. So good at parkour, nimble as a fox, makeshift katana. You can move in the shadows, numb people with darts, and use a katana whirlwind attack. And as a trickster fox spirit, you have an illusory appearance. You can induce a hypnotic trance, make hypnotic suggestions. Later, you can read minds, be stronger against the simple-minded, and summon fox helpers. Very cool. The only non-mythos card here is Kaito, which is a defining relationship. So I love Kaito more than anything else. Kitsune loves a mortal called Kaito. To be close to him, Kitsune goes to high school every day and pretends to be a student, but rarely ever speaks. So that gains you better excuses, potentially being popular, and your face always being hidden. But when you actually see Kaito, you freeze up. Okay. Interesting. Then we've got Declan Lestrange. Cool. Maybe a bit of sorcery going on with the green glow. Not sure what's going on there, but we shall find out. He's living in a dream. The world around Declan changes like a dream. He could open a door at home and find himself in a marketplace, or suddenly become invisible without warning. He can mysteriously bend reality, subconscious reaction speed, and he can have premonitions. Later, he can gain astral projection. He can mold physical objects, and he can enter someone else's dream. But he has 3 Logos cards, so he's still mostly humanoid here. He's a dubious antiques dealer, so he's got archaeologists, he can smuggle, and he's got business connections. And later he can become a good at disabling security systems. Nice. He's also a good gunslinger, good shot, adhesive foam ammo, so non-lethal ammo. He can pull gunslinging stunts. Later he can gain explosive ammo, cable gun extension, and tactical coordination. And he's been around. He's got experience. He's rugged, authoritative, and a good judge of character. Later, he can gain the light sleeper, leadership, and common sense abilities as well. Cool. Then we have mitosis. Wow, looks fairly beastly here. I expect he's got some kind of mutational abilities. There he is. So he's got Mythos 2 and Logos 2. Yeah, he's got rapid cell growth. He's an ever-evolving ecosystem capable of creating all kinds of new cells according to his current evolutionary need. So that gives him the powers of hugeness, extra limb growing, and instant muscle building. Later he can generate spores, change his mass, and analyze biochemical composition, but he struggles to restrain his growth. He's survivable, so he can grow bone armor, helpful. He has rapid healing, he can change skin texture and color. He can harden his inner organs, that's cool. Weather resistance, and he can grow roots. He's also an ex-boxer. So he's got the boxing power tag, a mean right hook, and he's good at gambling. Later he can gain dodge skills, can take a pounding, and staggering blows. But he's also a biochemical accident. So he's an ex-celebrity, he's got some media connections, and he's filled with rage. Oh no. But he can gain the ability to be compassionate, have a secret admirer, and work on meditation. Well, that's nice. Alright, then we have Salamander. Oh, that's a very cool picture. Look at that guy. I like that. Very cool. So, Salamander, he only has 1 Mythos card and 3 Logos. So he is a Nimbus of Primordial Plasma. He has Burning Nimbus Whips. Can create a plasma barrier, and he's better in damp conditions. So his skin produces a nimbus of a burning substance that is neither fire nor water, that has something of both. Later he can gain the ability to create bright flares, underwater propulsion, and heat resistance. That's interesting. He's also an up-and-coming crime fighter, so he can brawl, dodge, and snoop around. He's athletic, streetwise, and good at investigation. He's a heartthrob, so he's handsome, bold, and kind-hearted, with a heroic charm. So he's charming, handsome, truly wants to do good. He can later be brave, celebrity, and incorruptible. He's also a city water worker, helpful given his mythos there. He knows every street, knows the waterways, and he's a city official, so that can gain access to certain things. He can gain a secret underwater hideout. He can understand fluid dynamics and emergency services radio. Cool. Notice I'm not going through the power improvement stuff because A, there's only so much time in the world, and B, I think it's more fun to discover those in play. So hopefully you guys will find that on your own later on. We got Scarlet. So she's got the red hood. When her girlfriend Jill was kidnapped, distraught Scarlet found a red hooded coat hanging in the closet. It gave her the power to hunt down and defeat those who would harm the young and innocent. So it gives her protected by the hood, conjure hunting weapon, and I always find my prey. Okay. Then she can entangle people with coat's edges, move out of harm's way, and inflame someone's rage. She's an innocuous threat, however, so as the chosen of the hood, she uses her harmless appearance as the perfect cover. That gives her the harmless little girl, power tag, surprise attack, and lurk in hiding or in the hood. Later, she can gain sinister presence, sense of danger, or finding a weak point. But she also has young love, so she's worried about Jill. She has the strength to go on. She has empathy, and she's cute together with Jill. That can give her a confidence boost, somewhere to crash, and the ability to gossip. But she's also a wallflower. She prefers watching people. She's easy to ignore, seems trustworthy enough, and is observant. She later can learn to skillfully avoid conflict, be easy to underestimate, and be studious. But she's also painfully shy. That's an interesting one. I like that character concept. In fact, we have another Scarlet. What's going on here? Did I get 2 of them by mistake? Yeah, that's exactly the same as the other one. Interesting. They've got Mayreed Conroy. Not sure what's going on there, but lovely pink color scheme. So she has 2 mythos and 2 logos. She's got a gunny sack. This is the Bogeyman's gunny sack. And thirsted for prisoners, and it thirsted to be a prison for the wicked. So she can use it as a prison for the wicked, phantasmal grabbers, and have an amorphous shape. Later, she can unleash the imprisoned damned, especially can be effective against murderers, and she can use the prison as a shelter. She also has a terror sense. She can see wickedness, she can think like a predator, and force someone to relive their nightmares. Ouch. Later, she can gain psychometry, night vision, and seeing through the victim's eyes. She has a defining event in her background where she watched her father die. So that leads her to stand up for the abused, self-defense training, and always having an exit plan. She has an eye for detail, access to crime stats, and she's a survivor poster girl. She's also a child psychologist. So she's dedicated to helping other children work through their traumas. So she has the child psychologist power tag. She's got bedside manner and private practice. And she can gain wealthy clients, identifying defense mechanisms in others, and be an official expert for the police. Pretty cool. We got Baby New. We saw him in the book as well. It says Reborn on his jacket there. So he has 2 mythos and 2 logos as well. I am the year. So he He's mentally in his late 20s, but he ages from infancy to old age every year and is reborn on January the 1st. Okay. He's mythically aware of all documented events that will define the year in history. So he can recall this year's chronicled events, foresee this year's events to be chronicled, and he's got perfect timing. Then he can gain remember years past, holding breath to slow time, and be immune to time and fate manipulation. He can also manifest the year's trends. He can weaponize the trends, temporarily change his age. He can manifest trends from years past, set this year's trends, and conjure top-selling guns and cars. That's handy. He's got training in burning rubber, so he's great at getaway driving, losing a tail, and street smarts. Later, he can be a car mechanic, multitasking while driving, and get away from cops easily. And he's also got good wheels, so he's got a souped-up getaway car, a stash pistol, and it's inconspicuous. He can gain special fuel additive. My other car is a blank, and a body shop to get repairs done. That's cool. Got Ghost Face. Scary looking dude. I imagine there'll be an essence of Ghost Rider here. Yeah, Face of the Void. Those who look under Ghostface's mask peer into the ultimate night, the end of all. They see Chernabog, the Dark Lord of Death and Horror, and run for their lives. So he can give someone the chills, paralyzed with fear, bring misfortune and ruin. Later he can get Nothing Scares Me, Not for the Faint-Hearted, and Full Head Reveal. Wow. He also has the End of Light. So he brings with him shadow and the absence of light and an enveloping cold. Gives him the power of shadow play, enveloping and freezing death, and deadening sounds. Later he can shadow walk, fashion minions out of shadow, and embrace a creeping cold. He's also a Beelzebub bro, so he's got a kind of balancing being of good and light that can heal the wounded, brings summer and peace. Later can fight off the darkness and helps kind of counterbalance the darkness of Ghostface himself. And Brothers After All. Okay. His logos, he's got a mission of being a violent vigilante. He doesn't want people to get away with things. So he has an unregistered gun. Ooh, naughty. Knows how crooks think. Can take a beating. Shoots first, asks later. Is feared by criminals and can get custom body armor. All right. Then we have Lance Sullivan. He seems like the detective type, I'm going to guess. Yep, so he's got Mythos 1, Logos 3. He is an imaginary knight. He can dream up knightly armor and weaponry. However, they appear as spectral apparitions. So he can do spectral armor with a shield to match and a lance of honor. And he gains the ability later to defend love, fight for justice, and be stronger against magical things. But he's also delusional. He's searching for the lost. That's his routine. So he's an investigative reporter. He's good with lockpicking and sorrow for victims. He can gain steely determination, good searching skills, and a modest paycheck. He has his Sancho Panza, who's called Alejandro Sanchez, who can save his butt every time, gives him a reality check, and long, unbreakable speeches. He can later have just the tool you need, an unwavering faith, and a shared fate. Finally, he's a retro renegade, so he's got a beat-up old Mustang, a worn-out leather jacket, and a sawed-off shotgun. And he can gain a trunk full of surprises, something called They Don't Make Them Like They Used To, and he's a memorabilia buff. Okay, so maybe he knows about old stuff. All right, then we got Bassie. Check her out. Lounge singer extraordinaire. She has the ability, she's got Mythos 2, Logos 2. Goddess Never Tells. So she's the mistress of secrets. She sprinkles spellbinding luxury, give enchanting performances. Later, she can conjure phantoms, peer into your mind and soul, and gather a cult following. As a guardian and companion, she has a familiar, which is a giant house cat. So house cat turned lioness, light-footed with an aura of protection. Can gain claws like swords, savage ferocity, and irresistible cuteness. She has a wardrobe of wonders, meaning she always has a breathtaking dress if she wants it, an alluring perfume, and she knows how to make an entrance. She can gain a backstage costume rack, a holdout pistol, and a concealed wire. And she is a rose among thorns, meaning she's not easily intimidated. She can discern moods, and she has dressing room camaraderie. Later, she could be a multi-instrumentalist, knee to the groin, okay, and gain underworld queen status. Wow. And finally, we have Bodhi. Look at this chunkster. think he's got some pixels behind him. I'm guessing a video game theme. Mythos 2, Logos 2, The Unreal Cannot Hold Me. After spending 9 years in his parents' basement playing video games and staring at the wall screen, Bodhi attained complete emptiness and awakened as Bodhidharma. Now he sees through the illusion of substance and can cause restraints and obstacles to pixelate and vanish as if in an old video game. So that gives him freedom of movement. He can dissipate restraints and obstacles and dissipate tangible harm. He can also become insubstantial, respawn elsewhere, or teleport, and spawn restraints and obstacles for others. But he could also pixelate himself by mistake. He's a Shaolin man cave, so he can conjure a legendary temple, fighting Shaolin monks and ancient scrolls and tablets. He can gain a place in a stasis of happiness, advance Qigong training, and to enter one must be empty. Okay. Adulting is a game that I have to beat, alright? So he gains the power to analyze this level, spot clickable objects and people, and if at first you don't succeed, ... Later he can consult the online community, use game combat tactics, and his lucky shirt. His defining relationship is his mother of the 10,000 things. She has the power tags of Supermom, makes the best snacks, and she can sneak out quietly. Later she can help me calm down and focus, stand up for myself, and gain supernatural multitasking. She's virtually omnipresent. Wow. Good mother. All right. Finally, we're down to the last two things. The Deck of Legends and the character theme cards. These should be pretty quick to look at. I think the Deck of Legends is just basically going to be some adversaries and stuff that we can use in games. 23 purple Mythos Danger cards of Awakened Rifts and Conjurations. 13 red Logos Danger cards of Touch Individuals. 4 blue Mist Danger cards of Gatekeepers. So there's a narrative side and a profile side. Okay. Hopefully it won't open without too much trouble. There we go. All right. So we've got a gray washer and a narrative side there. So he's a street cleaner of some kind. Got the tactical weaver, also known as loomers. They use the mist to bend reality itself. Okay. Gatekeeper agents, the men and women in gray. Again, more about those in the Into the Mist expansion set. Stormbringers. They are law enforcement units, mythically enhanced teams, militias, and gangs that enforce Shango's law in the city. Sponsored journalists. So I think these are tied to some of the gangs that we've seen in the supplement so far. Chaos Mongers of Set are individuals touched by the Egyptian god Set, Lord of Disorder, Violence, and Foreign Invaders, and become his warrior minions. Okay. This is great. I mean, we have everything we need for the in-game stuff and narrative details on the back. Celine Rowland, Lady of the Lake. We've got Ray Gibbons, Merlin. Wow, must be pretty powerful. We have the Ghost of Luis Navarro, a Poltergeist, and Deceased PI. Cool. We have Maddened Isengrim the Wolf, the hungry yet comical anthropomorphic wolf of the tales of Reynard the Fox. Okay. And we have Eva Rice, a Wendigo. Wow, okay, that's a terrifying contrast there. Vince Beaumont, who is also King Arthur. We have Archie the Dragon, who is a medieval dragon. Transforms into a 50-foot-long giant lizard with body covered in shimmering metallic green scales, 2 red leathery wings, and eyes like rubies full of swirling flame. Yikes. We've got Lancelot, conjuration by King Arthur. Okay. So he's a war golem. So some of these guys are kind of minions of the others. We've got Knights of the Round Table, a street gang. Got the Scoonies. They're another street gang. We've got the Armand Kai, who is also Fulcanelli, a fabled master alchemist. All right. So you can concoct things. We have Aqua Regia, who is conjured by Fulcanelli, an acid elemental. We have Magnum Opus Disciple, touched by Fulcanelli, who's a cultist. We have, Professor Gregory Clay, touched by Fulcanelli, who is a lecturer / cultist. We have Helix Labs Black Ops, Touched by Prometheus. They're a special ops unit. We have Yakuza Yokai. They are Japanese monsters and spirits. Well, there's 5 different types. Cool. Then we have Magnum Opus Initiate, Touched by Fulcanelli. So they're a group of cultists as well. We have Rachel Woods. She is also Gretel the Gingerbread Witch and a drug lord in real life. Interesting. Then we have the Gingerbread Men, Touched by the Gingerbread Witch, and they are monstrosities. So her cooking went wrong, apparently. Then we have Underhand Naga Gangsters, who are sleepers. They work for the Gingerbread Witch's drug operation. Got Foxy Supreme, Cadmian Vixen, a dangerous nihilist, drop-dead gorgeous drug dealer, and a veteran rift. Sounds like a bad combo to me. Crystal Knight, the Snow Queen. Okay. We've got Gatekeeper Seals, a special ops unit for the Gatekeepers, I guess. Near enough the scariest threat a rift could face. Alright. Got Asylum Nurse. Touched by the Snow Queen. Okay. Mending the Broken. Okay. We have Mending the Broken Therapist, Touched by the Snow Queen as well. So it seems like she is into messing with your mind. Then we have Felicia Jones, who is also Palden Lamo, Protector Goddess of Tibet. Oh, that's interesting. But Protector Goddesses and gods in Tibet are often pretty fearsome, so be careful of that. We've got the Mechanist, who is also Hephaestus, Greek god of metalworking, a mastermind. All right. We have Yolanda and Mariusz, old carnival shows, and they are circus performers. We have PJ Holiday, who's a sleeper and a private eye. Okay, so he doesn't know yet what's going on in the City of Mist. We've got Goldie, who is also Goldilocks, and a burglar. Interesting combo. As Goldilocks was a bit of a burglar. Officers Das and Quinn, Gramadevata, and Quinn is a sleeper. Okay, so one of them is a rift and one of them is not. That's interesting. We've got Novak, Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, who's a fugitive. We have the Snatcher, who is a ghoul and an underworld cleaner. No questions asked, body removal service. Yikes. And then we have, finally, Martha Ellis, a banshee and a jazz singer. Ooh. Okay, it seems like could go drastically wrong. There we go, that's all of our legends. And then, finally, we have the character theme cards. Now, these are going to be, I imagine, empty cards, all the different possible types that you can fill in to create your characters, because you don't use really normal character sheets in this game. I mean, you can do, there are printable ones that you can fill in, but I think if you were doing an in-person game, at least, you'd want to do it with these cards. Okay. There we go. Yep, so it's got 14 blank Mythos theme cards, 14 blank Logos theme cards, 2 blank Myst theme cards, and 1 of 20 theme-specific cards, including theme improvements. That's handy. Oh, they really packed this to the brim. Come on. You can do it. Okay. So yeah, we've got character cards. Then we've got types. Then we've got turfs. Training, struggle, routine, possessions, personality, mission. So these are all logos. Defining events. Then we got mythos cards, subversion, relic, mobility, familiar, expression, enclave, divination, destiny, conjuration, bastion, adaptation. Then we got Myst theme cards, logos theme cards. There's quite a few of those. Yeah. And then more mythos theme cards. And yeah, that appears to be it. So, just the blank ingredients. Not entirely blank, obviously. You've got some example theme books and stuff in there, but helpful for building a character in physical form. And there you go. That is the complete look at the huge stack of stuff I got from the Son of Oak Studios Local Legends Kickstarter for City of Mist. Really excited about all this stuff. I tried to keep this quick, but there was just a whole lot of stuff to look at. So far, I'm really impressed with the look and feel and content of everything. It all feels really high quality. The game system seems really interesting, really unique. They give you a huge amount of guidance and help as far as designing characters and running the game. So I'm really looking forward to getting into it. And as I do so, I'll report back with more detailed videos on each of these different main constituent parts. In particular, the starter set, the core set, and the Into the Mist expansion. So look forward to that. In the meantime, thanks for sticking with me through this very long video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments, and I hope to see you again in the next video. All right, take care, and bye-bye.